In life, we all face challenges. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a father, or simply a man striving to achieve your goals, setbacks are inevitable. So how do we confront them without stress or worry? Have you ever wondered why some people remain calm and composed, even when everything seems to be falling apart? What if I told you that worry isn't a solution, it's a barrier to success? Imagine this. You're driving down a long road. You've planned your trip, checked your car, and filled the tank. Everything feels under control. But then, out of nowhere, a heavy downpour begins. The road becomes slick, visibility drops, and your confidence starts to waver. Do you feel anxious? Of course. But do you stop, abandon the journey, and ignore your destination? No. Instead, you adjust your speed, turn on your lights, and cautiously continue. Now, what happens when you finally reach your destination? Do you keep driving aimlessly, circling your endpoint? Of course not. You park the car, step out, and move forward. That's what quitting at the right time is all about. Not giving up during the storm, but stopping after you've achieved your goal. Today, we'll uncover 7 Stoic principles to help you turn challenges into opportunities. Share in the comments, what's the biggest obstacle you've faced, and how did you overcome it? Let's explore together. 1. Quitting at the right time. 1. Quitting at the right time. When life throws challenges at us, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. Many of us, when things don't go as planned, find ourselves doubting every step we've taken. We wonder if it's time to give up, to abandon the journey entirely. But here's the truth. Quitting isn't always the problem. The timing of when we quit makes all the difference. It's not about stopping when things get tough. It's about knowing when to step away once we've achieved something meaningful, once we're at the peak of our efforts. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we should focus only on what is within our control: our actions, our persistence, and our decisions. The outcome, however, is beyond our grasp. This understanding liberates us from unnecessary worry. Instead of fretting over temporary setbacks, we learn to direct our energy toward what truly matters, reaching the summit before deciding to rest. Quitting at the right time isn't failure, it's wisdom. It's a reflection of someone who understands their limits and values the balance between ambition and well-being. Let me tell you about a man I greatly admire, a champion bodybuilder. He dedicated years to relentless training, enduring countless competitions and earning prestigious awards, including the national championship. At the height of his career, he faced a decision. His body had begun to show signs of wear, persistent injuries, and fatigue that no amount of rest could cure. He knew that pushing forward meant risking his health and his legacy, so he made a bold choice. He retired while still at his peak. Fans mourned his departure, but they respected his decision. Rather than clinging to fleeting glory, he chose a different path, becoming a coach. Now, he shares his knowledge with future athletes, contributing to the sport in a new way. His story is a testament to the power of stepping away on your terms, not when circumstances force you to. But what if you're not at your peak yet? What if you're still climbing and the journey feels impossible? This is where many falter. They stop halfway, believing the effort isn't worth it because results don't come as quickly as expected. Think about your own life. How often have you considered abandoning a project, a goal, or even a relationship because the progress was slower than you hoped? But here's the thing. Persistence isn't blind stubbornness. It's understanding how things truly work. Most successes don't follow a linear path. The moments when nothing seems to work are often when growth is happening beneath the surface. This raises an important question. Where is the line between persistence and stubbornness? When should you keep pushing forward, and when should you choose to step away? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you navigate this balance in your own life. The Stoics teach us to embrace the process rather than fixating on immediate results. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of accepting obstacles as part of the natural order. Just like a bodybuilder understands that rest days are as crucial as training days, we must recognize that setbacks are not the end. They are part of the journey. To give up during these moments is to rob yourself of the eventual triumph that only persistence can bring. So how do we apply this in our lives? First, take a moment to reflect on your current challenges. Are you abandoning them because you've truly reached a logical endpoint, or are you stopping because things feel hard? Next, shift your perspective. Rather than focusing on what hasn't worked, ask yourself what you've learned so far and how you can adjust your approach. Finally, make a plan to continue forward with intention, knowing that every step builds resilience and strength. And when you finally reach the summit, when you've accomplished what you set out to do, don't be afraid to stop, rest, and chart a new course. Quitting isn't always the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of something far greater. 2. Cultivating belief and resilience throughout the journey. When things fall apart, it's easy to lose faith. Doubt seeps in when progress slows or stops altogether. You start questioning if the path is worth it, if the sacrifices you've made will ever pay off. This is the moment when many people falter, not because they lack talent or effort, but because they lose the fire of belief and the resilience to keep going. However, the truth is this: belief and perseverance are the foundation upon which all success is built. Like a sturdy house requires a solid foundation, your journey toward any goal depends on maintaining inner strength, even when everything around you feels unstable. Stoic philosophy teaches us to cultivate a fortress within ourselves, a place of stability that external chaos cannot penetrate. Marcus Aurelius emphasized focusing on what is within our control, like our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. When the world doubts you, when even your closest allies misunderstand your choices, your inner resilience becomes your greatest ally. This isn't about stubbornness. It's about having the clarity and discipline to keep moving forward despite the noise. There's a story that always comes to mind when I think about resilience. It's about a man who faced immense challenges but never let go of his dream. He dropped out of college in his early 20s to work, a decision he regretted for years. By the time he turned 45, he decided to change his life. He went back to school to earn a degree in engineering, despite facing skepticism and criticism from those around him. They told him he was too old, and that balancing work, family, and school was unrealistic. The odds were stacked against him. Yet he held on to his dream, not only for himself, but to set an example for his children. For 5 grueling years, he worked tirelessly, juggling shifts, assignments, and family obligations. When he finally walked across the stage to receive his diploma, the applause wasn't just for his achievement, but for the strength he demonstrated in every step of the journey. His story is a reminder that the pursuit of something meaningful requires unwavering belief and resilience, even in the face of doubt. Now, think about your own life. How often have you been discouraged by slow progress or criticism from others? It's easy to feel like giving up when results don't align with your expectations, but this is where Stoicism offers a lifeline. The Stoics remind us to focus not on immediate outcomes, but on consistent effort. Imagine planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. Instead, you nurture it, water it, and trust the process. Your goals are no different. The roots of success often grow long before you see the fruits. So how can you stay resilient when challenges mount? First, define your why. Why are you pursuing this goal? A strong sense of purpose can anchor you when the waves of doubt hit. Second, break the journey into smaller milestones. Celebrate each win, no matter how small. Lastly, surround yourself with reminders of your progress, whether it's a journal, photos, or even the support of those who believe in you. What about you? What do you think is the most important factor in nurturing belief and resilience on the road to success? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective might inspire someone else. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about doing so with grace and intention. By focusing on your inner world, you can overcome misunderstandings and external pressures. Belief and resilience are like muscles. They grow stronger the more you use them. Keep building that strength, step by step, and you'll find that even the most daunting challenges become manageable. And one day, when you look back, you'll see how every struggle was a necessary piece of your journey. 3. Understanding risk and reward. When things don't go as planned, the immediate reaction is often fear. Fear of failure, fear of loss, and fear of wasting time or resources. It's natural to worry when outcomes feel uncertain. But what if the key to overcoming that worry isn't avoiding risk, but embracing it? When you understand that temporary setbacks are part of the process and the potential rewards far outweigh the challenges, you stop seeing risk as something to fear and start seeing it as an opportunity to grow. Stoic philosophy teaches us to evaluate life's risks rationally. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized focusing on what's in our control while remaining indifferent to external outcomes. This doesn't mean ignoring risks entirely, but approaching them with clarity. If the downside is limited and the upside is boundless, the risk becomes worth taking. Stoicism helps us detach from emotional reactions and instead approach decisions with a balanced, logical mindset. My cousin embodied this principle perfectly. Working a steady office job, he saw an opportunity in the real estate market. It wasn't without risks. He had to borrow money and take on a property that required extensive renovation. Friends and family questioned his decision, warning him of market volatility and potential losses. But he saw something others didn't, the potential for a high return. He poured his time and energy into repairing the apartment, navigating countless setbacks along the way. When the renovations were complete, the property's value skyrocketed. He rented it out, generating steady income, and eventually sold it for a significant profit. What began as a calculated risk turned into the foundation of his financial success. He's now continuing to invest and build wealth. Hidden proof that taking a thoughtful chance can lead to extraordinary results. This story illustrates an essential truth. Success often lies beyond the discomfort of uncertainty. How many times have you hesitated to pursue something meaningful because you feared it wouldn't work out? Whether it's switching careers, starting a new business, or investing in a big idea, the fear of what could go wrong often overshadows the possibility of what could go right. Yet, those who succeed are often the ones willing to endure that uncertainty because they trust the process and keep their focus on the bigger picture. For the Stoics, the key isn't recklessness, but calculated bravery. They teach us to measure risks wisely and pursue them with discipline. Epictetus famously reminded his followers to weigh the cost of their actions carefully, understanding the potential sacrifices and rewards. This mindset empowers us to step forward even when the path is unclear. It's about trusting that even if you encounter temporary failures, they'll serve as stepping stones towards something greater. So how do you apply this in your life? Start by reframing your view of risk. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, shift your mindset to the possibilities of what could go right. Create a clear plan that minimizes downsides, whether it's saving an emergency fund, gathering information, or seeking advice from those who've walked a similar path. Most importantly, keep your eyes on the long-term rewards rather than the short-term challenges. Now think about a situation in your life. Is there a chance you've been hesitant to take it because it feels risky? Ask yourself, is the downside something I can manage? Is the upside worth the effort? Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you approach risk and reward in your journey? Remember, success rarely comes from playing it safe. It comes from stepping out, embracing discomfort, and trusting that even the biggest risks can lead to the greatest rewards when approached with wisdom and intention. Let risk be the fuel that propels you toward your potential, not the weight that holds you back. 4. The importance of preparation. When life presents us with an opportunity, it's easy to believe that passion and raw talent will carry us through. But when things don't go as planned, worry creeps in and self-doubt begins to take over. Why does this happen? Often it's not a lack of ability, but a lack of preparation. Success rarely goes to the fastest or the strongest. It belongs to those who are best prepared. Preparation is what bridges the gap between dreams and results. It's not about luck. It's about the work you do long before the challenge begins. The Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." This perspective shifts our focus from external circumstances to internal readiness. We can't control every twist and turn life throws at us, but we can control how ready we are to face them. Preparation isn't just practical. It's a form of emotional resilience. When you've done the groundwork, you're less likely to panic when obstacles arise because you've already accounted for the possibilities. There's a story about two men that captures this idea perfectly. John and David both dreamed of building homes for their families. John, full of energy and ambition, jumped into the project immediately. Without a plan, he used whatever materials were at hand, confident that his strength and determination would be enough. David, on the other hand, took his time. He studied designs, carefully selected high-quality materials, and mapped out every stage of construction. At first, John seemed to be making progress faster. His house started to take shape, while David was still planning. But soon, cracks began to show, literally. Without a solid foundation or a clear vision, John faced constant setbacks. He wasted time fixing mistakes, overspent on materials, and grew increasingly frustrated. Meanwhile, David worked steadily and deliberately. His preparation saved him from costly errors, and his progress, though slower, was consistent. In the end, David's house stood strong, beautiful, and completed on time, while John's project remained unfinished, a testament to hasty action without foresight. This story isn't just about building houses, it's a metaphor for life. How often do we rush into things? New jobs, relationships, projects, without laying the groundwork, only to find ourselves struggling to keep up? Preparation isn't glamorous. It's quiet, methodical, and often overlooked. But it's the secret ingredient that transforms potential into reality. For the Stoics, preparation was a way of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote about visualizing potential challenges before they happen. This exercise, called premeditation of evils, isn't about pessimism, it's about readiness. By imagining what could go wrong, we prepare ourselves emotionally and practically to face adversity without fear. When we're prepared, setbacks lose their power to derail us. They become manageable, even expected. Start by slowing down. Before diving into any endeavor, take time to understand what it requires. Break the task into smaller steps and focus on each one deliberately. Anticipate obstacles and plan for them. And most importantly, trust the process. Like David building his house, progress may feel slow at times, but steady preparation always pays off in the end. Think about your own goals. Are you rushing forward without a plan? Or have you taken the time to prepare yourself fully? Share your thoughts. What steps do you take to ensure you're ready for life's challenges? The truth is that preparation is an act of self-mastery. It's a way of taking control, not just of your circumstances, but of your emotions and reactions. In the face of uncertainty, it gives you the confidence to move forward, knowing that you're equipped to handle whatever comes next. And when success finally arrives, it's not luck or talent that gets you there. It's the quiet, consistent effort you put in long before anyone else was watching. 5. Challenges and adversity are inevitable. It's easy to assume that struggles mean you've taken a wrong turn. The truth, however, is often the opposite. Setbacks and difficulties are not signs of failure, but indicators of progress. They signal that you're moving towards something meaningful, something that requires effort and resilience. Success, after all, isn't handed to us. It's built through persistence, especially when the path is uncertain and filled with challenges. Stoic philosophy teaches us to welcome adversity as part of the process. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on how challenges strengthen virtues, such as patience, resilience, and courage. Instead of wishing for an easier road, Stoicism encourages us to embrace the obstacles as opportunities to grow. Growth doesn't come from avoiding hardships. It comes from facing them head-on and learning through the struggle. The story of my cousin offers a perfect example. He saw an opportunity in real estate that was filled with potential, but also riddled with challenges. He decided to invest in an old apartment, fully aware of the financial risks and market uncertainties. The project wasn't smooth. Unexpected repair costs, construction delays, and the constant criticism of doubters piled up quickly. It would have been easy to abandon the idea, to let the frustration take over and walk away. But he didn't. He faced each problem one by one, staying focused on the ultimate goal. He understood that success was not about avoiding these obstacles, but navigating through them with determination. In the end, his persistence paid off. The apartment's value soared after renovations, and he earned a significant profit when he sold it. That initial project became the foundation of his investment journey, leading to even greater achievements. The very challenges that made the journey hard were the same ones that made the outcome meaningful. Without those struggles, the result would never have carried the same weight. This story is a reminder that the road to success isn't supposed to be easy. Yet many of us grow disheartened when we encounter difficulties. How often have you felt tempted to give up simply because progress was slower than expected? The reality is that instant success is a myth. Like planting a tree, meaningful growth takes time. The roots must grow strong and deep before the fruits can appear. What feels like stagnation or struggle is often the foundation being built beneath the surface. Stoic teachings offer a valuable framework for approaching these moments of doubt. Epictetus advised focusing on what lies within our control, our thoughts, our actions, and our attitude. These are the tools we can use to face any challenge, regardless of its size. Setbacks are not meant to derail us. They are opportunities to practice patience, adaptability, and perseverance. Each obstacle you encounter becomes a chance to refine your character and strengthen your resolve. So how do you apply this mindset in your own life? Start by changing how you perceive challenges. Instead of treating them as roadblocks, see them as steps on the path to your goal. When something feels insurmountable, break it into smaller, manageable pieces. Take things one step at a time, focusing on progress rather than perfection. Most importantly, trust the process. Even when you can't see immediate results, know that your efforts are not in vain. Think about a challenge you're currently dealing with. Are you letting it shake your confidence, or are you using it as an opportunity to grow stronger? Share your thoughts. How do you push through when things get tough? Adversity is not the enemy. It's a necessary part of the journey. Every struggle shapes you into a person capable of achieving your goals. Let the obstacles affirm your direction and give you the strength to keep going. With resilience and clarity, you can transform even the toughest moments into stepping stones toward lasting success. Remember, it's not the absence of challenges that defines your journey, but how you rise to meet them. 6. The predator mindset. Many people feel paralyzed when faced with difficulties, as if they're prey caught in a trap. They hesitate, analyze endlessly, and wait for the perfect moment that never comes. This passive mindset often leads to missed opportunities and lingering regret. But what if you could shift your perspective? Instead of being frozen by fear, imagine adopting the mindset of a predator, focused, determined, and always ready to take action. This isn't about aggression or recklessness. It's about choosing to act with intention and clarity, even in the face of uncertainty. Stoicism teaches us to take responsibility for our circumstances, regardless of how challenging they might seem. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the power of action, urging us not to waste time dwelling on what we cannot change, but instead to focus on what we can do here and now. A proactive approach doesn't guarantee immediate success, but it guarantees progress. And progress, however small, is what ultimately transforms challenges into opportunities. Let me tell you about someone who inherited a struggling family business. The company was drowning in debt, and market conditions were working against it. Many advised them to declare bankruptcy and move on, but they saw potential where others saw failure. Instead of giving up, they dove into action. They studied the market, identified inefficiencies, and cut unnecessary costs. Understanding that outdated practices were holding the business back, they made bold decisions, including investing in new technology and providing staff with updated training. These changes didn't come without risk. Every decision carried the weight of uncertainty. But they didn't let fear dictate their actions. They remained focused on a long-term vision while navigating each challenge one step at a time. Over time, these efforts bore fruit. The business not only recovered but became profitable, allowing debts to be paid off and a stable future to be secured. This transformation of a failing company into a thriving one serves as a powerful reminder. Being proactive is the antidote to fear. Instead of letting circumstances define them, they took control of the narrative and turned risk into opportunity. What about your own goals? Are you hesitating because the path seems too uncertain or the risks too great? Maybe it's a career shift you've been putting off, a personal project you're afraid to start, or even a difficult conversation you've avoided. Success doesn't come to those who wait passively. It comes to those who take deliberate action. Begin with small steps, but start moving. The act of doing creates momentum, and momentum can change everything. The Stoics understood the importance of this mindset. Epictetus often spoke of action as the key to overcoming fear. He emphasized that while we can't control external events, we can control our response to them. This perspective empowers us to shift from feeling helpless to taking charge. By focusing on what you can influence, your choices and your actions, you reclaim your power, no matter how daunting the situation. How do you cultivate this predator mindset in your daily life? Start by identifying one area where you've been passive, waiting for the perfect moment. Commit to taking one actionable step today, no matter how small. Build from there, trusting that each action will guide you closer to your goals. As you think about this approach, reflect on the moments in your life where hesitation held you back. What could have changed if you had acted sooner? Share your thoughts. What's one goal you're ready to tackle now with a proactive mindset? Adopting the predator mindset isn't about fearlessness, it's about courage. It's about choosing to move forward even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. By focusing on action and trusting your ability to adapt, you'll find that obstacles become stepping stones and opportunities start to appear where you once saw only challenges. Take control, take action, and watch your potential unfold, becoming the person for whom success is possible. Success isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming the kind of person capable of sustaining that success. Often, people focus solely on outcomes, neglecting the personal growth needed to reach and maintain those achievements. But the truth is, every step you take toward your goal also shapes you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable individual. This process of self-development is what makes success not only possible but lasting. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of cultivating virtues as part of life's journey. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the idea that we are not given success, we grow into it. Patience, discipline, humility, these are not just traits, they are tools we refine through effort and experience. The Stoics remind us that success is a byproduct of who we become along the way, not just what we achieve. A good friend of mine embodies this principle. Walter was an exceptional employee, hardworking, diligent, and ambitious. He dreamed of becoming a manager, but there was one problem. He lacked leadership and communication skills. Walter realized that without addressing these gaps, he wouldn't be ready to handle the challenges of management. Instead of letting his ambition outpace his abilities, he took a step back to focus on self-improvement. He enrolled in leadership courses, studied time management, and practiced public speaking. Beyond theory, he sought out opportunities to apply what he learned. He volunteered for projects that required team coordination, forced himself to listen more attentively, and embraced decision-making responsibilities. Each small effort brought him closer to his goal, not just by ticking off skills on a checklist, but by transforming his mindset and approach. When Walter was finally promoted, he didn't just become a manager, he became a leader. His ability to motivate his team, make sound decisions, and communicate effectively turned his ambition into reality. His story is proof that success isn't an end state, it's the result of growth, preparation, and adaptability. What about you? Have you ever felt like a goal was out of reach because you weren't ready for it? That's not a reason to give up. It's an invitation to grow. Success is rarely about arriving fully prepared. It's about developing yourself to meet the challenges you'll face along the way. Each skill you master, every weakness you address, and every fear you overcome brings you closer to the person you need to become. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus taught that our control lies not in external events, but in our internal efforts. By focusing on self-mastery, we not only prepare for success, but also ensure that it is sustainable. When difficulties arise, we don't crumble because we've built the resilience and wisdom to handle them. This is why self-development isn't optional. It's the foundation of all enduring success. How can you apply this in your own life? Start by identifying the skills or qualities you need to cultivate for your goals. Break them down into manageable steps and commit to working on them consistently. Seek out resources, whether it's books, courses, or mentors, and don't be afraid to practice in real-life situations. Growth doesn't happen overnight, but every deliberate action brings you closer to the person you're becoming. Reflect for a moment. Are you focusing only on what you want to achieve, or are you also investing in who you need to become? Share your thoughts. What's one area of growth you're prioritizing in your life right now? Success isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about the transformation that happens along the way. By embracing personal growth, you not only achieve your goals, but also create a version of yourself capable of sustaining and building upon them. Every challenge you face and every skill you develop is shaping you into the person for whom success is not just possible, but inevitable. Keep growing and let your journey define your greatness. As we come to the end of this journey, remember that success is not a single event. It's a process. Along the way, you'll face challenges, risks, and moments of doubt. But these aren't roadblocks. They're opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The principles we've explored today, quitting at the right time, cultivating belief in resilience, understanding risk and reward, preparing thoroughly, embracing challenges, adopting a proactive mindset, and becoming the person worthy of success, are timeless tools to navigate life's uncertainties with purpose and clarity. Stoicism teaches us that life's struggles are not meant to break us but to shape us. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and preparation, we free ourselves from the worry of what lies beyond our influence. Each small step you take, each skill you develop, and every fear you overcome brings you closer to the life you're working to create. Now, the real work begins. Take these lessons and apply them to your own life. Reflect on your goals. Are you prepared for the challenges ahead? Are you ready to grow into the person capable of achieving your dreams? Start small, but start now. Practice resilience when things go wrong. Embrace calculated risks when opportunities arise. Develop yourself every day so that when success comes, you'll be ready to meet it. Finally, I'd love to hear from you. What challenges are you facing, and how are you working through them? Share your stories in the comments below. Your experiences could inspire someone else on their journey. Every day is a chance to take one step closer to your potential. Keep practicing, keep refining, and keep moving forward. Success isn't just a destination, it's the person you become along the way. Keep growing.